Your borrowing power isn't what you think. Most investors hit a wall after a few properties, not because they ran out of good deals, but because the banks say you're done. But with CMHC MLI Select, your borrowing power gets separated. Your multifamily loans don't count against your personal credit. They're judged on the building's income, not yours. I call this the separation of borrowing power, and it's one of the smartest ways investors are scaling in today's market. Let me show you how it works and why it matters more than ever. When you apply for a residential mortgage, lenders look at your income, expenses, and debt and apply strict stress tests called GDS and TDS. The more properties you own, the harder it gets to qualify. That's why so many investors stall out after 3 or 4 houses or condos. But MLI Select plays by different rules. These are commercial loans underwritten based on the property's performance, not your personal income. The bank looks at things like rent, expenses, and projected vacancy. And the key metric, DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. It's a simple test. Does the building earn enough income to cover its mortgage with a bit of cushion? If the answer is yes, you can qualify, regardless of how many residential properties you already own. This is a game changer right now. Residential lending is tighter than it's been in years. Higher interest rates, tougher stress tests, and lower affordability are stopping even experienced investors in their tracks. But MLI Select, it allows up to 95% loan-to-value 50-year amortization and bond-linked rates that are often below market, and none of it is based on your personal debt ratios. That means you can keep building your multifamily portfolio without closing the door on your residential options. 2 lanes, both open. Here's how it plays out in the real world. I worked with an investor who owned 3 Toronto condos. When he went back to the bank for a 4th, they shut him down. His income couldn't support another loan under the stress test. But when we ran the numbers on an 8-plex in Edmonton using CMHC MLI Select, the story changed completely. The lender didn't care about his condos. They looked at the building's rents, projected expenses, and DSCR. And because the deal made sense, he qualified with just 5% down. He kept building on the commercial side without touching his residential capacity. Most investors miss this entirely. They assume all mortgages are treated the same, and that adding debt in one place ruins their chances elsewhere. That's only true in the residential system. Commercial debt, especially CMHC-backed loans, operates in a completely different lane. It's underwritten differently, it's treated differently, and down the line, it's even easier to refinance or sell. So not only are you preserving your borrowing power, you're also building a more valuable, scalable portfolio in the process. Here's the takeaway. Your residential mortgage ceiling doesn't have to be your stopping point. CMHC MLI Select separates your borrowing power, and that opens up a whole new path to scale. Most investors never hear about this advantage. Now you have it. If you want more data-backed strategies like this, hit subscribe, drop a comment, or check the link in the description to book a one-on-one call and see how this could apply to your next project. I'm Darren Kim with DK Wealth and Growth. See you in the next one.